So I recently put out a video. It was a joke. It was a analogy about Russia being an abusive boyfriend and Ukraine being, the abused girl and blah blah blah, right? It was a joke. It was a funny. Now, because of this and just looking at the comments on that video, like I felt the need to put out a video clarifying what my actual view is. So I hear all sorts of rumors and I hear all sorts of propaganda from both sides. And the way I'm looking at this Russia-Ukraine thing is we've got the Russia side, we've got the Ukraine side, and then in the middle we have the truth. And the majority of this stuff, to me, is static. I hear that Ukraine is a bunch of fascists and Nazis who happen to be pro-LGBT and pro all this lefty stuff. And then you have ultra-conservative Russia who's very anti-LGBT and blah, 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 right? You hear this from all over the place. You have these huge propaganda machines going crazy right now, and everybody has their own opinions. And that is perfectly fine. It is perfectly okay in a war to pick a side. Not a problem. And if you have valid reasons for picking one side or the other, more power to you. Good job. You have an opinion and you're voicing your opinion. That's fantastic. And now for my opinion. My opinion is this. I do not believe that Russia should have attacked Ukraine. I do not. And this is why. Ukraine is a sovereign nation. It is a new nation. It has a lot of corruption, sure, but it is a new nation. They have elections. They elected their party. Yes, again, they have corruption, but whatever. They are a sovereign nation, period. I do not believe that Russia has the right to invade this sovereign nation just for the sole purpose of going, I want you back. I don't believe they have that right. They have the ability, but I do not believe they have that right. Now, when it comes to NATO and whether or not NATO should get involved, I do not think they should get involved. Ukraine is not a NATO country. Therefore, NATO should not be involved. Now, if any country out there wants to help Ukraine out with, weapons or money or stuff like that, they are free to do so. Do I think the United States should have done that? I don't know. That can be debated. That's a whole other conversation. Now, it's Ukraine is a pro-Western country, so I can see the validity. I can acknowledge the reasoning behind arming Ukraine because Russia is supposed to be this big scary boogeyman, right? So, of course, it would make sense to help any country out defend against Russia if you're along that line of thinking. Now, me personally, I just don't know because all of this propaganda stuff is just static to me. I don't care about it. I don't care about how evil Russia is. I don't care about how evil Ukraine is. All I'm seeing here is a nation attacking another nation with the purpose and the idea of conquering it and taking it back. Like, Russia is trying to, Putin's trying to bring back the USSR, right? I get it. I mean, if you used to have all of this land and, Ukraine's like, the fourth largest producer of natural resources in the world? I mean, pretty smart idea to try to take that, right? Like, it'd be pretty genius. Back in the USSR, if it wasn't for Ukraine, everybody would have starved in Russia. Like, that's pretty much how it goes. So, strategically, very genius move, very smart move to do. I don't support the move because, like I said, sovereign nation, they, should be left alone. Now, if Ukraine was sitting there and they were attacking everybody who was going through and trying to just because somebody, looked a certain way or believed a certain way, right? Like they started doing this genocide stuff. Well, then it might change my mind a little bit. And there's rumor. I've heard, a couple people say that Ukraine is trying to do this ethnic cleansing thing, but weird that it's not all over the mainstream media because that's something that they would jump on, right? Like, look at the Uyghurs. Like some people are talking about the Uyghurs in China and there's that. So I don't know. I mean, again, I don't care about Ukraine. It's not on my radar. So I haven't sat there, and I'm not Ukrainian. I'm not Russian. So when it comes to a lot of their internal politics and what they do and stuff, I'll be the first one to admit I am uninformed. I have looked in to a little bit of this stuff here and there, and it's, compared to the rumors and stuff that I hear, a lot of it doesn't add up on either side. Russia has more atrocities than I've seen from Ukraine, but that's again because Russia's pretty conservative, line of thinking when it comes to a lot of that stuff. So, they're not very pro LGBT. Ooh, whatever, that's their choice. It's Russia. If the Russians don't like it, then they stand up and overthrow the government. Because that's really how the cookie crumbles. If the Ukrainians really, really hated their government and all the corruption and stuff, they'd do the same thing. And people got to make a choice. And you can live under tyranny for as long as you're willing to put up with it. Me personally, I'm not willing to put up with the tyranny that we're facing here in the United States, and that's why I am as active as I am. That's why I do these videos all the time, and I talk about freedom, and I talk about liberty and how important it is, and how leftism is a cancer to the world, much less the United States of America. So that's why I got this little guy right here. It stands for something. It doesn't stand for white supremacy. White supremacy. They're geniuses. It stands for freedom. The government cannot stomp on me. I am born free, and we should have liberty in this country. That is what it was founded for and upon, was liberty. And some of us in this country are willing to fight for it and bring it back. So... I will say, speaking of fighting for it, I will say that it is really fun watching what's going on in Ukraine right now. There's so many videos coming out from these heroics. That ace that shot down 6 MiGs. Bravo. The 13 guys on the island that told the Russian Navy to F off. That was amazing. The lady who said to put the seeds in their pockets so they'll grow sunflowers when they bury them. It's pretty cool stuff, and it's incredibly enjoyable, and it's pretty sweet watching the third most powerful country in the world having kind of a little bit of a hard time taking over a country the size of Texas. So it is very interesting to watch. I'm like I said, I don't care so much about the politics of it, but it's very interesting watching how this whole thing is unfolding. So I just wanted to make this video. It's a short, sweet, right to the point video, and just make sure everybody is aware of what my stance is on this whole Russia-Ukraine thing. Now, I'm sure that I'm going to get just as much hate mail because of this video as I did because of my analogy, but whatever. The analogy was pro-Ukraine, and this one here, I guess, is pro-Ukraine. But hopefully some people can understand where I'm coming from and what I'm talking about when I'm talking about sovereign nation versus sovereign nation. How would you feel, again, it's a joke because it'll never happen, but how would you feel if Canada was ultra conservative and they were like, yo, you Americans have totally lost your way, and we don't like, what you're all about and how you're operating and stuff. So we're just going to invade you and make, North America a country instead of a continent. We'll turn it into Australia where it's one and the same, come on. The United States, we're jacked up in this country. There's a lot of areas in here where we are totally screwed in so many different ways. And, how would you feel? Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with us invading Canada because Canada lost their way? And, it's just, think about these things. I think people get too lost in the weeds and they get too emotional about it, going, oh gosh, they did this or these people did that, so go ahead and invade them and kill them, whatever. I'm too black and white for that. I am too just this or that. And for me personally, even if Ukraine was this horrible country and they were super fascist, which is not making sense to me with how kind of lefty they kind of are and secular they kind of are, You know, even if they were super, whatever, they're still a sovereign nation. I don't think that Brazil should invade Venezuela. I don't believe that Cuba should invade Puerto Rico. I don't believe that that should happen. And that's just me. And that is my 2.5 cents on the Russia-Ukraine situation.
I can't be canceled, there's no way that you can stop me. Fully independent, there's no label who can drop me. Y'all been starting rumors, let me help you with some. Can't cancel me, my life is scandal free. There ain't no sponsors taking losses cause the brand is me. My hands are clean, my family and my fans agree. Y'all can't cancel me for facts because you're mad and weak. I don't care if you mad at me, okay? Go ahead and change the channel. Don't waste your time trying to cancel me, okay? They love me cause they know that I'm an asshole. Say what you want, I guess it is what it is. Haters can talk, but they can't cancel the kid. Go ahead and go off, try and say this is it, but I swear to God, you can't cancel the kid. Y'all some snakes, I don't need fruit from that apple tree. I ain't doing features or buying beats. I'm a wolf, I don't lie with sheep. I am what I am, and I can't hide my teeth. Way too many rumors, I'm like, who said it? Never met him, if he dissed me, probably about to drop a new record. I do what I want, don't matter if I get approval or not. Y'all ain't gonna cyberbully me or try to push on me until I'm becoming some dude who I'm not. Go ahead and call me a piece of garbage, make a starving artist your primary target. I'm the largest monster in the farthest darkness, and my claws are sharp and I'm an army sergeant. If people wanna hate, then I'm grateful. It's only gonna make what I say less painful. Look at my face, embrace I'm unstable. I ain't gonna break or shake or feel shameful. I am not playing it safe, I said what I said, it is what it is.